So let's dive right into 8.9 bonus balance. I'm excited to start
Easy.
this. How about Vampiric Shroud? Looks like it's getting some physical protection taken away.
Again? They're nerfing it again?
Over the last few patches, we've seen a rise of trying to increase Vampiric Shroud prevalence, and then we saw it dominating, especially the Protein. As you guys know, for bonus balance, we usually try and cater those towards more on the Protein as well as the ranked. And Vampiric Shroud, well, we're decreasing its protections by just a little bit, so that maybe Guardians aren't just overshining Warriors constantly in that lane, but we want to see a little bit of each.
Thank
Sounds
God,
good.
dude. I hate
next
that
up,
item, bro.
Jotun's Wrath, if I'm saying that right, getting some decreased physical power.
I
how
don't
about
need
that
it to die. What?
Yeah, so for Jotun's Wrath,
Why?
we did a whole bunch of buffs
I don't
to all
want
the
to touch
junglers,
cost.
really to bring assassins back in the meta, and that's actually what we've seen. Especially in Pro League, we've seen junglers come back in a really big wave with assassin playstyle. But we did give I think a grand total of 30 to 40 power over a whole bunch of items.
Yeah.
We're just going to tone that back a hair. So 5 power off Jotun's Wrath. We really like that item is now cheaper, so it's more easily built. We just want to make the cost match a bit more with the power it's providing. And then the next item, Transcendence, is also going to get a small power reduction.
Awesome. Well, yeah, and that does it for the
This
items.
is also a
direct
nerf to the
Looks like Serket is kind of having a shift with her last breath ability.
I sped it up a little.
Clumsy?
Yeah, so I mean, with the map changes we've had, as well as ever since mid-season, we've seen a little bit more Serket, but there's always been
they usually
issue with a couple of these
super
assassins
fat
where
or super
we noticed
slow,
that
and it
when
takes
we see them
forever,
rise up,
but
they
they're
might
actually
be a
speaking
little
pretty
bit more in
quick.
the Guardian role. So just like we've done previously, Serket's going to be getting a base damage decrease, but a scaling increase. This should help her, find that balance between her roles.
Is that good for you guys?
Awesome.
That
Sounds
work?
good. After that, looks
Thank
like
you.
Raijin is also kind of getting a shift in the bonus patch with
So
Thunder
that
Crash.
changed.
How
They
about
want
that,
to be
Mark?
Serket to be a jungler.
Yeah, so Raijin's been another character that's been
But
really,
they also
doing
don't
well
want to
in
be
Pro
OP in
League.
support.
One thing that we got talked to about was that Thunder Crash. It does that initial AoE damage, and then it mezzes and does the follow-up damage. And this can sometimes, depending on how it gets interrupted, mean that you get some extra free damage. And so now we've moved all that damage onto just the landing, so the only initial part does the mezz, and then when you actually fully teleport, does all the damage come out. And we've also reduced that damage scaling, so it's just not as impactful. So overall, makes his damage a bit more predictable and less spread
They
out,
nerfed
as well
Raijin.
as is overall lower on that leap when used aggressively.
Okay.
Love predictable helps me avoid being destroyed by it. Next up, we have RTO getting a nerf to Energy Surge.
They're
what's that looking
nerfing
like, Clumsy?
everybody. Holy
So
shit.
RTO kind of came out of nowhere. We gave her a couple of buffs, and we didn't expect her to just rise in prevalence. Of course, with Vampiric Shroud and the new solo lane meta, it made sense. So we're going to be decreasing Energy Surge, and therefore all crits.
This new god,
By 1
apparently, I
second.
don't know anything
That
about it yet,
alongside
is
the Vampiric Shroud
super
changes,
exciting.
We're hoping those will be enough for now without,
We'll
just
see.
gutting the character.
What up, Pro Steezy? Thank you for the primer.
Yeah.
Prepared. Thank you for the 28
Cerberus
months.
also getting a nerf alongside that. Ghastly Breath looks like
the
some
fuck did this come
protection
from?
debuff changes. What's that? What's going on there, Pawn?
Another really popular Guardian kind of solo laner or can flex into this
They're
role as well.
nerfing the
And one thing that
Guardians
really stood out on him was just that
because
the
of
Ghastly Breath
items that make
protection
them
shred
good?
was just so impactful. And so again, we're being a little bit cautious here. We don't want to over nerf this character because we are also adjusting Vampiric Shroud.
Yeah.
But we're reducing that protection debuff so that when you're
It's
brawling
weird
directly into
though.
him, you're not
Like
gonna get so
Cerberus
much of a
are
protection
the same
disadvantage, especially
skill
early on in
and
the
like
game.
good, like
Makes it a bit more
same
fair fight.
value in
Yeah, I
support
definitely
forever.
felt
And
the
solo is an
shred
item.
when I stood in that breath for too long. So finally, we have Hell getting a nerf as well to the Inspire ability.
Yeah, so a lot of the themes you're going to see are a lot of revolving around that solo lane, as well as the mages that can use Vampiric
lot of
Shroud
those
well.
changes
Hell,
were
we've
very
seen her a lot in the solo lane.
high
We've even seen her
level
being quite powerful in the
SPL
mid lane. And we've touched her healing
inspired, I
on
feel
other
like.
characters a lot. We didn't want to do that here. We wanted to address not just her wave clear, because we know that needs to be decently strong for her to survive.
You guys
in
still
mid
hear
lane
that,
or even
hopefully?
solo lane. So we want to have her healing minions slightly less, so that way when she's really chunking the your minions, she's not healing her own as much.
Thank you, Nick.
We think that should be slightly less oppressive at lane.
I am not
Cool.
questing.
Sounds
I
good.
have
And that
11
wraps
GPUs
up
now.
the 8.9 bonus
Actually,
balance.
12.
So y'all can be looking for that. That'll be coming October 5th. So make sure y'all are on the lookout for that, and you can read the bonus update notes.
I do want to note one real quick thing as well. We've got a couple of things that we were addressing with the pro play this weekend, and just to get a little bit more time on. So you're going to see a few more meta nerfs coming into the main patch as well.
Awesome. And yeah, so again, October 5th, you can check the bonus
it's streamed
update
at
notes
12,
for that, which are
one's at
live
2.
now. And awesome. On those bonus update notes, you're also going to see the skins we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
So again, October 5th, 8.9 is coming out with some skins. In the Odyssey Perilous Seas event, we'll be getting the Wise Hair Athena skin. So let's take a look at that. Ooh, like that.
I saw this skin.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That skin is
I was
good.
looking at the little guy's carrot
But,
pen in
like-
his glasses as well. I love the one. taking
Why
notes
is
of the
this a
sun.
theme?
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love the pink
Can
too.
they even
Like, the pink
explain?
and green really pop together.
I thought it, when
Oh, that
I
is
saw this card art, I was
super
like, why
cute.
are they
This
doing an
whole card art is
Easter
awesome.
theme now?
I totally love it.
Ooh.
Oh, looks great in game too.
I was gonna say the colors really come out from the card art into the in-game model, so well done to the team. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's so
I think
thematic.
that
The shoulder
It's cute,
pads
like,
too.
cushion.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's so good.
I mean, you know, another
It's-
layer, orange. we're
It's
moving
like
into
bunny
fall, so
themed
it's
or
really
whatever,
checking all the
obviously, but all I
boxes
could think
here.
about
This
was
is
Easter.
Love it.
Super awesome. I absolutely adore it. What a good skin. Plus, I love Athena, so super excited for that. So cool. Do we have voice line? Yeah, let's run voice line.
What is going on with their audio? It's butt cheeks.
All right, sounds like the voice line is kind of having some issues right now. So she has a cool voice, though. I mean, obviously they always do. So let's jump on. Next up, same in Odyssey Perilous Seas. We have Molten Machina Fenrir.
This skin is fucking awesome.
I've not seen this one before.
This skin
is super cool.
That is,
one other-
that is
other
so
skin,
awesome. I
fucking
absolutely
awesome.
love that. I love too, like the dripping lava and
I was gonna say the same thing. The dripping lava coming from his maw is super cool.
Yeah, I was
I love
looking.
this line of skins, like the kind of mech
Data,
skins
we have no
with the
idea.
floating pieces. Absolutely,
Have
one
I
of my
missed
favorite type
anything?
of skins.
No,
Let's
you
see
have
what it
not,
looks like.
Coomer.
Oh,
That skin is
That is
fucking
so
good,
great.
dude.
Yeah,
I love-
the floating pieces all coming together and like conjoined with energy.
I opened the stream and had it on my
Yeah,
second
and I
monitor
love, like, that
earlier, and I
fiery
saw
core.
this,
It's kinda
and
right
I
there
was
in the
like
middle of
double
the
taking. Like,
chest
wait,
and the
what the
back of
fuck
the
skin
arms,
is
too.
that? Why does Fender have a sick ass
Like-
skin?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I super love it. Wow. Let's run the voice.
What up,
line.
purple?
Extermination is coming.
Yeah. Wow. That seems like it. I feel like I'm gonna get exterminated. Not excited to have that jump at me. So the next thing is from the Chosen One chest, and it's actually the Chosen Dragon Ao Kwang. Let's take a look at that card art.
I didn't see
Oh,
this skin.
hello.
That looks awesome. Dang. Look at that
Oh, like-
sword.
And the dragon form in the background in the sky.
Y'all out
Oh, I
here
didn't even
maining
notice.
Fenrir.
Oh yeah, wow.
What's up, Riot? Thank you for the
Yeah,
sub, brother.
we're big liking this.
I
That
can
is
hear
so
Lermy's voice in my head saying that this is a top tier.
true. Yeah, 100%.
This does look like
Is
they
that the
could call it
dragon in
beach
the
skin.
back, the one
I think
that's
so.
gonna
Yeah,
The
turn
one in
into?
the sky.
Oh man.
Very cool.
That is so awesome.
What is going
let's see
on
what it
with
looks
the, like the
in-game.
length
Let's
of
get
this?
Check that out.
What the fuck? His face looks like
Ooh, I like
trash.
that a lot.
Yeah, I love the color scheme on his like his tunic and
Hold on.
stuff.
Yeah, and the
Very
way
sweet.
it works into that aura
Oh.
around him at his feet.
His hand is fucking
Absolutely
gigantic
amazing.
compared to his face.
Plus
What
that
the
shoulder
fuck?
plate
I was
is
gonna
He's
say
got
that
like a little
cauldron
dinky
is-
face.
It's definitely standing out.
Wow.
Look at how little his
Absolutely
face is,
fantastic.
bro. And
Let's,
it's like,
let's hear what the voice line
I
sounds
don't
like
know.
on
That's kind of creepy. I don't
I
like it.
shall have my revenge.
Some of the male faces in this game look
And
very
his revenge he shall
plastic,
have. That is
surgeon
that's an awesome skin.
inspired.
The last one coming out in the 8.9 bonus update is going to be Deep Sea Scotty, which I'm super excited
This skin is
about. I
also
love
god
this
tier.
one.
This skin is fucking awesome.
Oh, there it is.
Wait
It's
a
a
second.
shark.
I was gonna ask.
Look at the shark dog, dude.
It's gonna be on land.
The
This is
Robo Dog
hilarious.
shark.
That is so awesome.
He has little like back robot legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at him.
Oh,
Little,
no.
good little shark boy. So this one actually, fun fact
This
about
is
this,
Scotty,
is a community
bro.
concept skin from Wolf Dog Art. So thank you,
Nice.
Wolf Dog Art. This is super exciting. Let's see what it looks like in game.
Oh
The
my
Scotty
god,
looks
the land
awesome.
shark.
That is
It is
so,
actually a land shark.
that is so
The
threatening.
skin's weird because
That
like
is
the
terrifying.
Scotty looks cool,
Oh.
basic bitch, but cool.
I love the way that the
And the
orange
dog looks
jumpsuit
sick.
kinda works with
And
the
in most of the
blue
other skins,
shark too.
don't really care too much about the dog.
That's
Land
really yeah. Land
The
shark.
shark
Let's hear what
Robo
she
Dog,
sounds like.
dude.
All right, boy. What discoveries do you think we'll find in the ocean today?
Is he like
That
making
is,
noise?
oh, that's great. I love the way it sounds like you have the audio from inside the helmet too.
Yep.
Troy, what happened?
Absolutely amazing. But yeah, that is the last of the skins coming out with the 8.9 bonus update. Again, live on October 5th. But before we move on to community news, we have something to share with y'all.
What does shark sound like? That's what I was waiting to hear. Oh, I got bamboozled. I had to pause it. I got bamboozled. I had this muted, and all I saw was high res showcase and the dates, and I fucking started freaking out, thinking, "Fuck you, Razy." It was Worlds, dude. Thinking they were announcing Worlds. Skip this part, but isn't it just about Worlds? Yeah, I saw this and I was like, let's fucking go. And then I realized it said HRX at home, dude.
That is right. High-Res Showcase and the Smite World Championship are on the way. We are getting prepped for them even now, and we are so excited.
Demon,
so
not...
as you saw in the video, you can look forward to those happening early 2022.
Evil,
That's January, starting on Thursday the 6th and going all the way through the 9th. So High-Res Showcase, like you saw in the video, is going to have all kinds of things going on. That's Thursday the 6th.
It's just online
and it's
Worlds.
going to have cosplay contests, meet and
Jordan.
greets, dev panels, community
We're
work. There's so
anyway,
many
bitch.
things happening in the showcase itself. And then we're going to roll right out of the showcase into the World Championships, which will be going
Troy, what the fuck's going on with your shit?
that Friday, which is the 7th through the 9th. It's just going to be huge. It's a huge event, and we're excited to have y'all tune in. So make sure to hit that hashtag SWC at home and join us.
Why does my hair look different every time you tune in?
For
I don't
another
know.
amazing high-res showcase and Smite World Championship. Super
Double
excited
J.
about it. So rolling out of that, we also currently have, if you're a Prime Gaming subscriber, if you have Amazon Prime Gaming has the Sacred Arrow Rama skin available right now that you can pick
Oh yeah,
up.
I had to check and see if I had the skin.
Super excited about that. Make sure that you grab that. That is available right now. Now you'll remember the last
Rama skin available from Prime Gaming. If you have Prime Gaming, get this skin. Sub to me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/weekend. And then just hit the sub button. Thank you. It's free. Why not?
time we talked about Prime Gaming skins, we showed y'all what was coming next. The Krang.
The Krang is
CVTM
god
skin is
tier,
coming
dude.
next. That one's going to be coming.
This
in,
is Prime sub.
October,
This is from being
October
Prime
14th.
subber.
So we have a little
Prime
while for
sub to
that.
me, you
also,
get the
a
Krang
Prime
skin.
Gaming skin though. But after that, we figure we would give y'all a little teaser of
That skin
what's
is
coming
so good.
next, and that is Retro Raphael Loki. So we're getting another Raphael skin for Loki.
Wait, what?
Again, a Prime Gaming skin, and we are super excited
Oh,
for y'all
that's
to see it.
sick, dude.
Yeah, just look
That's really fucking cool.
absolutely amazing. I love the red mask.
They can do this with all of them. That's sick.
So
That's just
super.
nuts.
Yeah,
I can't
Totally
believe how well this
agree.
looks.
Like a
the
comic book.
kind of
Fuck
shading,
that's
I love
sick.
this.
I love it with the bold black lines too. Super good.
I
And
was
again,
doing
this
some
is a
really cool,
Prime
unique
Gaming
shit with
skin.
these
So
skins,
this one's
man. I
gonna be
swear.
a while. We have to wait till November for this one, because Krang is next. But
You already know
look
they
out
dropped
for
the
this,
Cthulhu skin.
and,
Then
definitely be
Nickelodeon was like,
excited
"Yo,
for the Prime
hold
Gaming
on.
skins coming because
Relax. We need
back-to-back
that.
bangers."
We need that
Another thing
now.
we're talking about is that we are currently running a whole week of Party Up. So y'all might have seen about it earlier, but play with your friends this week. Until next Tuesday, you can hop in, and if you're playing in a party, then you're gonna earn additional
They
rewards. at the end of
bamboozle
the
with
game.
these, dude.
Worshippers
With these
and
2Xs. Like, I'm gonna be on
experience and such.
PTS
So make sure
and
that you're
playing New
playing
World.
with your friends all week.
I can't
not
be
just the
gaming
weekend.
with my
Right now through
non-existent
next
Smite
Tuesday,
friends.
Make sure you're getting in there and enjoying that. And finally, in community news, we are also running a Refer
like we
a
have
Friend
friends.
event. This is currently running as well. And
Another
it
friend.
started-
Who
it starts
am I
today.
referring?
And what you do is you have to play 10 games with a friend who's not played the game in a while or not played the game at all.
Yeah,
And if
Jordan, you
play
wanna come
10
back and
games
play
with
Smite with
them
me for
and
10
they're on your
games?
friends list and with your accounts and everything, then on October 7th,
I can get
you'll
a
earn
fucking
chest.
chest.
So here are the rules on screen.
not you,
again.
Razy. I don't like
but
you.
Yeah, so make sure that you invite a new friend. Get your friends into Smite. We're always excited to have new people join the community.
Jordan lies,
And we're excited
dude.
to be able to give people rewards just for joining the game. So
Yeah, I don't know who
that
Enduring Games
wraps
is.
up community news. Lots of good things. Super
I saw
excited
High-Res
about,
partner with Enduring Games
High-Res
for
Presents and all
developing
of the-
games or
and
something. I
Smite
don't know.
World Championship, of course, and then all of the amazing new skins coming out with Amazon and Prime Gaming.
Jordan, about that, I can't
just
do that.
So many good things. So
How
from
do you claim the
community news,
skin
we're gonna
after you
jump right
sub?
into
At the top-
some more balance.
Here, I'll
kind
show
of
you if
balance
I
you can
can.
expect.
At the top of your Twitch. At the top of your Twitch, you've got these. New Prime Loot. Click this. A drop down will come in, and you'll click on it, and you'll have to link your accounts, and then you'll get the skin. At the top, click the Prime Loot. on Twitch, and then bingo
Next,
bango.
moving
You
into
sign,
8-10, and
log
the
in a
first thing
couple
we're gonna talk
accounts
about is
on Twitch. You're good to go.
Joust balance. So let's get into it. Looks like Joust is having some changes for the Chinese Joust map. What are those going to look like?
Yeah, so the big thing here for the Chinese Joust map is one thing that we've noticed with people playing it, especially with the kind of changes that's happened since the Joust map was out, is that the kind of level pacing that players have come to expect doesn't quite match with what's happening in Joust currently, as well as the difficulty of some of the objectives on the map feeling like they'd be taken too early. So we're doing two things to really address that.
Thank you,
The first
Shooter.
one is that we're going to be increasing the split bonus, so that people just generally level up faster. They get closer to 20 or 20 before the game ends versus getting to like maybe only like 15. As well as Bull Demon King is going to be just stronger in general, so it's going to be harder to take, harder for that carry to go back off the first or second item and just go solo it really quickly. It's going to
Damn.
be more of a team objective that needs to be worked
That's
on.
not
versus
that
something
big
that
of a
can be
difference for Bull Demon,
soloed.
but
As well as
like
we fixed
it's
a
a
whole
little bit
bunch
of a
of other
difference.
stuff around the map with like
So, Swim.
things going through walls that they shouldn't be going through. The Joust
Thank
map
you,
has a
Hyper.
whole bunch of walls that they kind of like fire through them, and so we fixed a lot of the issues regarding that as well.
Luigi, thank you for the primer
Awesome.
sub.
Well, always nice to hear
Joust
that
is a
Joust is only
snooze.
becoming
Can I get some resident
more
sleepers
fun
in the chat
and more
for the
scary
Joust?
because of the Bull Demon King. So next up, we have some Conquest things to talk about,
Ooh,
but
boy.
we think it'd be better to share this with y'all first. So
This
how
stuff
about
I'm
you
very
enjoy this?
unsure about, bro. I'm very unsure about some of this.
Bring change,
This is sick.
but Tiamat's war is constant.
This is sick. They should have.
For
They
the
should do this
first
with every
time,
season.
Snow blankets
this
the
is sick.
battleground. Will the lanterns of the battleground give sight through the blinding flurries? Or
I wish they
hide
could
more
do it to where it
dangers
like
within?
transitioned, like from
Spring
Halloween
leads to summer.
into snow.
Summer to fall. And as snow falls on the battleground,
this is what I'm
so
not sure
too
about.
will the gods.
I don't know about this.
In the winter, dead woods.
I don't know how to feel about these fucking. They're basically bushes.
Welcome to the Winter Deadwoods. So, welcome to the Winter Deadwoods. So exciting. I mean, yeah, that's it. We have a winter map. Y'all
It's
excited?
basically a League of Legends bush. Yeah,
Very excited.
This is
it's a
this
little
is
bit
so
different,
cool.
but
I mean,
basically.
we've done the Conquest refreshes, and like this is something that I think people have been wanting for a while, is to bring back this kind of wintry theme.
Yeah, and I mean, and from everyone I've talked to, it's something we've wanted to do for a while, and we finally were able to get it in there. We're finally able to do this for y'all, and I think we get to see the map in game. So let's see what that looks like. Let's get in there.
Yep. So we can see
Here we
that
are.
the
Thank
map
you,
is
Jerome.
all
Thank you for the primer,
snowy.
brother.
It's
Welcome.
covered in
Brave
snow.
fan, Atlanta Brave fan. Thank you for the 10
Everywhere
months.
around
Oh,
it.
that is.
My concerns
absolutely love
are
this, like-
these are kind of fucking like.
And so I know that with this map too, we're getting some. Not only is it a
annoying and
beautiful
not-
visual update with all of the
not
snow
unique.
and just the aura of the map, but I
Both-
hear that there are also a few little mechanical differences
Are
that
you
we're going
in
to
the
get to
tall
see
grass hiding
gameplay
region?
wise. Mind showing those to us?
You're gonna be in the
so the major
snowy
big difference
fog.
that I'm sure people have seen from me walking around here is these little lanterns that are around at various key
Yeah,
locations.
when's fog gonna
So
be
you
a
can see
removal
here we have a
option?
mist lantern, and if I choose to break it, the fog of the jungle takes over, and you are now invisible here. So this is an
Yeah.
area where now players
you can
break
troll
that
with wards
and hide
by
there to
warding
jump
in
their
there,
opponents
and
at
you're
any
not
given
invis.
point.
That is so awesome. And so how long do those
So
last?
here's
how
the
long does
other
that
thing.
little vision mist last?
That fog, if you're fighting and you tap that real quick, and you can hop in and out of the fog to use it to your advantage, kind of like Discordia's 3.
We've messed around with it for a little bit, but I think it's about 2 minutes. So when you break this, enemies have a pretty clear tell that someone was here and they did something. But it could very well be that maybe they are still
Yeah,
there.
it's every 2
Maybe they
minutes,
broke
you can
that
just- you can hit it
half a
again.
minute ago. Maybe they broke that a minute
You can
ago.
just
don't
you can hit it
necessarily
again.
know.
You don't know.
There are a
Yeah.
few rules though that you can use to help. So for example, if you actually ward inside of one, you actually
Yeah.
are fully revealed. So like if I was hiding here and they had a ward in this fog, they would actually be able to see me just perfectly clearly. So there are some counterplay options that you have available to you at any given point, as well as when they cast abilities or do certain actions, they're also temporarily revealed. A lot of the rules from Medusa's Deathmatch, a lot of those rules kind of hold here. So if you played that mode, where it had this kind of similar kind of stealthing mechanic, it's very similar in a lot of ways. So definitely buy wards and ward this up if you don't want to get spooked.
Yeah, I can see. I
You
can
have
see
a
there are a
little
lot
bit
of.
I don't know how I feel about
I was
it.
gonna say on
I
the
really
map
don't.
as well. There's several different locations
Not
where
sure.
those mist lanterns are gonna be.
Yeah, an awesome way to maybe surprise somebody trying to get to an objective, or even just a good way to burn a ward. Because if you go into the enemy's jungle and break one of those, then
Tweaking, that's
they
the move,
see that
dude.
they're gonna be like, well, do I walk by it? Do I take a longer route?
What
Do
if
I
you put
throw
a ward
So,
outside the
lots of
fog,
gameplay
but
elements
in
there. That
still
is
in its radius?
super awesome. I'm
No,
super excited
you have to have the
about
fog
this.
that's
Just the
in
map
the
looks so
fog. I'm
great.
pretty sure.
Yeah, there's tons of
If
details.
I'm not
all over
mistaken,
the
it
place
needs to
with
be
it
in
now
the
being
fog.
more snow themed. Some things from previous maps are still here. So I think the shipwreck and the fish that are over there in Dual Lane, that's still very much present. Obviously, Draugr is still here. We still have green buff, and I believe there've been a few small mechanical changes, just like their timings and everything and their strength, to further go along with this map.
Green buff has gotten a little bit more of a reward for that support buff, and the Draugr buff in the main two Draugr, I believe it's called, is going to be spawning now at 1 minute on the clock instead of 35 seconds.
Yeah, so it just some awesome changes to some gameplay elements, but overall just an amazing to look at map. I'm super excited to get into this.
If it's
map,
outside the
play
fog,
myself,
apparently
and,
it still pings
you know,
map, but
convince my
doesn't
entire
fully
team to
reveal
hide in
them.
one of those mist,
That'll be
hidden mist
interesting to see.
circles and jump on
Absurd.
somebody trying to go get an objective. It's just
I
so
am
many
excited
fun
for the new
gameplay
god
elements I'm
because
excited
I've
to play
only
with.
heard like
So,
like,
yeah, this is
like
super
super
awesome. And again, y'all
reactions
can
to
expect
it.
to be able to get into this with the 8-10 balance, which is going live October 19th. So look out for this and be ready to try this out in the PTS and tell us what you think. Yeah, so I think that's good. So awesome. So next we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. We're going into balance for 8-10, which again goes live October 19th. So that is the Queen of Banshees update. And there's so many things to talk about. We're going to just dive right into it head first. The first of which is Elixir of Defense is kind of getting a buff to its damage mitigation. What's that looking like, Clumsy?
Yeah, and this one we really wanted to make sure that the offensive elixir buff was, not overshadowed.
Those games where I get 2-3K pods, having that defense is going to be even more valuable.
Really start closing out the game. But we hear you guys from the support side of stuff. We're going to be increasing the mitigations from 5 to 10% to try and keep those a little bit more in line.
Always love to hear it. I love my tank, so the beefier the better. Next up, we have the warding sigil, kind of getting a shift to just a whole bunch of things.
Ooh, it's cheap.
Vaughn, what's happening here?
Yeah, so one thing that we were looking at when we were looking at the whole solo lane meta and how things were interacting, one thing that always fell out of favor was warding sigil. And the general consensus we got was aggression was the thing that you really wanted in solo lane, as well as if warding sigil was good enough in its defense to be like the go-to meta item, the meta in solo lane would probably be boring. And so we're looking to learn lessons from how Warrior's Axe work, how Vampiric Shroud work, how the Fighter's Mask meta kind of works, and really making sure that warding sigil feels like it's a good starting item for what people want in the solo role, which is to actually brawl each other with a little flavor as defense as its strength. So warding sigil is getting a shift.
Thank
it's
you,
now
left on
getting
deck.
physical
Welcome back,
power,
Blaze. Welcome
which
back.
means that it will be a physical only item. So only warriors can get this.
Ooh.
We've adjusted a lot of the stats, so it now has both protections and the actual dampening passive. When you're hit by an ability, you get a stack of dampening. That went from being flat damage reduction to protections as well. So the goal here is that you get that extra physical power you really need to brawl effectively, and you get your protections as the extra little flavor of strength, just like Warrior's Axe has the steel health as its extra strength, Bluestone is
So this is kind of like
and then Vampiric Shroud
old
is
Vanguard, but
all-rounder for Guardians.
but
so
a
making
less
this a warrior
OP
only item,
version.
as well as focusing on that aggression to make sure that we're not creating kind of a stale solo lane. And you can see this go out through all the upgrades as well. So Sigil the Old Guard, similarly getting a ton of stat shifts. We've just listed out its stats here. So you have 200 health, 35 physical power, 75 magical power, 45 physical power, and this has the same exact passive it did before. And then finally, Infuse Sigil, again getting a whole stat shift. It has 350 health, 50 physical power, less prots than Sigil of the Old Guard because that's really the defensive one. And the actual passive component here, it's the when you get hit by abilities, you kind of build up energy and then explode. The only change here to that passive is that's now physical damage because again, this is now a physical only item for warriors. It makes sense for that to do physical damage.
Of course, yeah. Wow, that is a whole lot of stuff changing, but I love watching the meta shift and the items kind of work into being for their character, so super excited. Next up, it looks like an upgrade for Warbanner is also having a shift. What's that looking like?
Yeah, so Warflag was updated to provide protections, but the upgrades to the starter weren't changed at all. So Warbanner's going to be getting this heavy shift where we're going to be removing all the power on it, but we're going to be adding protections instead.
What the
Sparta Flag
fuck?
will still be there as the power option. For
It's just going to be tanky as fuck.
Cool. Awesome to hear.
40 of each
Boomba's
protection.
dagger also kind of getting a nerf. How's that looking?
And so this currently goes with the other kind of jungle change we talked about in the bonus balance. We gave junglers a lot of extra power in their build, and Bumba's dagger has a lot of extra utility, and then when we put that power on top of it,
this is the best nerf they could do, bro.
We saw Carry starting to pick it up.
This is like the only thing they can do that isn't.
And so just to kind of preempt that, we're going to take away some of the power, making sure that it feels a bit
3
more
power,
fair
dude.
to build against. If you're choosing to build it instead of a more dedicated starter to your role, you're going to feel that power hit a bit more by keeping it still much stronger than it was for junglers than pre-patch. This is still a pretty significant increase from what it had before, which was no power.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Cool. Next up is Mannequin Scepter getting a nerf to its burn damage, it looks like.
Yeah, one of the things that Mannequin Scepter really excelled at was doing super high damage to jungle bosses, especially those jungle scorpions. So with the changes to Bombas, we want to make sure that Mannequin still was hit by this nerf, so that it doesn't just start to, overshadow Bombas again or the other options. So Mannequin
this like fully makes it so you would never go this over Bombas.
Mannequin Scepter.
Got it. Awesome. Leather Cowl also kind of getting a nerf to some of the NP5 and the
maybe
lifesteal.
occasionally, but
So before the Bumbas kind of came in and shook things up, we were also seeing a lot of Leather Cowl because it was your go-to for everything. And so when we are nerfing Bumbas Dagger, because we saw that kind of come into play, we were like, well, we're going to go mostly back to Hunter's Cowl. The other stars aren't going to get much play as well. And so we just want to also nerf that as well. It would feel weird to just nerf Bumbas but not nerf this to potentially increase other items being purchased. So a small decrease to the MP5, a small decrease to the lifesteal. It still has kind of that all-around stat spread, but if you really want sustain, you should be going Death Toll. If you want more offensive capability, that's where you can get your Gilded Arrow. But for Leather Cowl, it was kind of too good at everything.
They're nerfing this because
its upgrade is
they're trying to make it so they can't go Bumbas, and they also don't want this to be OP.
In the attack speed area.
Yep, similar story here. It was like the go-to upgrade. That extra attack speed and aura for your team gave you a lot of free attack speed. It was just being.
I mean, the item stats are pretty fucking bloated.
Cool. Always nice to bring it down and let everything else have a good chance. See it. Watch the game change. Pridwin is also getting some changes. Looks like a shift. And again, just a lot going on with Pridwin. So what's happening?
Oh, they nerfed it on Fenrir.
Oh, yeah, sure. So Pridwin, it was the kind of go-to for a lot of the assassin supports, as well as we were seeing tanky junglers.
Bro, they just
and even
buffed this item on everyone and nerfed it on Fenrir.
Choice, because it does give you a lot of survivability. The shield is really potent, even when you don't have that much protections built, because it provides enough, and it worked off your base physical protection and magical protection.
So you don't know, with Fenrir full runes, if you ultimate, you get, I think it's 100% more defense. So the Pridwin was doing like 300 to 400 damage with full stack defense because you have like fucking 8 million protections in Fenrir. Oh,
so
it's double. Yeah, it's double.
Changed
double
it now,
your
so it
protection.
actually works off only protections from items. So no longer considers your base.
Yeah, they don't want Fenrir support working with Pridwin anymore.
Which means that now you have to actually build multiple tank items if you really want it to be strong. So roughly the way this worked out was if you're kind of running the standard Gilgamesh build, had a few protection items in there, this is going to be pretty significantly weaker than it was before. But if you're the Guardian who's built 4 tank items and you throw a Pridwin on top of that, you're actually probably going to be stronger this time around. You have a stronger shield and a stronger burst.
It's literally going to be better for people who are building Pridwin correctly with tank builds.
Build to become tanky. You have to really play around it and build into it for it to be effective.
Awesome. Cool. And then finally, it looks like Spectral Armor is getting a nerf to the way it handles magical critical strikes.
Yeah, so this
I'm not so sure about,
and definitely more of it's pretty targeted buff towards Olaron specifically. It's going to have applications against Fail Knot as well for the mages that do get enhanced by that buff, but hunters can opt into critical strike, right? And we can see then Guardians and Warriors pick up Spectral Armor in return for that, but Olaron doesn't really have a choice. He is always going to be hitting with his magical crits based off his power due to his passive. So we've heard a lot from the community as well from the pros that if Spectral Armor is as strong as it is, then Olaron
can always crit. Like
so we want to
full
give
damage.
Olaron his time in the sun as well, and I think the Spectral Armor
no reduced damage for Olaron hitting Spectral Armor.
Awesome. Yeah, excited to see that. Excited to see Olaron enjoying his crits a little more.
Yeah, they're right. Olaron doesn't choose crit.
So next we're moving.
But it still sucks.
Next we're moving into the gods. The first god that's getting touched on is
everyone hates Olaron.
Actually getting a nerf to Taiko drums.
What? The double nerf to Raijin.
Yeah, so Clumsy had actually mentioned it where we had some more coming into the main patch. There was a huge meta shakeup that we had for the last patch with economy changes, jungle world changes. A lot was in flux. Some characters that we knew could potentially be really good, we weren't quite sure, and so we didn't want to preemptively double down until we saw
I
play.
did see Sir
And so because of that, we had to delay some of our changes to the main patch because we have to make sure we get changes in time to make the bonus balance patch. So the goal is we saw Raijin and Tiamat still doing really well after we saw them play over the weekend, so we felt they needed more additional nerfs to what we did in bonus balance. So here they are. So Raijin, Taiko Drums, we are decreasing the magical power scaling from 50% per shot to 40%. So just lowering his overall damage output, especially when he kind of pumps like all damage into focusing a target. This will decrease his overall damage pretty significantly, especially once he gets to like mid and late.
That's a lot. That's a lot of damage.
This should help bring
if
him
you hit
more
all
into
four,
line
that's a lot of fucking damage.
Awesome. And then, much like you mentioned, next up is also Tiamat, who's getting a nerf as well to Death Begets Life and Primordial Onslaught. So
another
same
Tiamat
thing with the
nerf,
Raijin, I guess, right?
Holy
right, exactly.
Fuck.
You know, we've seen Tiamat still rise in
again.
prevalence in casuals as well as ranked, as well as of course in the SPL scene. Raijin and Tiamat kind of vying for that mid lane supremacy. Tiamat has two main strengths that people talk about a lot: her late game damage, especially we believe coming from the first ability, Primordial Onslaught, as well as when she goes into the ground form, she's a little bit tankier than a lot of people would expect. So we want to still make sure that she feels tankier that mode. She's also going to be, you know, doing her melee basic attacks. Her abilities don't scale as high, but we're going to be slowly bringing down that mitigation to make sure we don't go too crazy at once.
You hear
So
that? They're planning on another nerf after
this
this one to Tiamat. They're already prepping for it.
I'm excited to see how they work after this, how they run. Next up, we have Achilles getting a buff to combat dodge. So what's that looking like, Vaughn?
Yeah, Achilles definitely has some memorable moments of being really strong, but since a lot of the previous nerfs, he hasn't really seen too much play. So we want to just kind of help him out there. One thing that seems to be a bit lackluster is his ability to kind of brawl and effectively clear the wave earlier on. And so increasing the base damage of combat dodge to help, especially when he's aggressive and uses it to get double combat dodge procs on the wave. This will just overall help his clear out, help his poke, help his ability to fight in lane, and hopefully give him a chance to be able to fight among all the rest of the warriors.
Yeah, awesome. Him diving in is going to be looking forward to it. Agni is also getting a buff, it looks like, across 3 abilities. What's going on with that, Clumsy?
Yeah.
Wait,
these buffs are fire. So Agni's always been
wait. That's sick.
Agni's always been like the quintessential perfectly balanced mage, but that's something that we like to say because he's also one of our oldest gods. And, you know, when he does rise in prevalence, as we've seen before, people are very quick to say that he needs nerfs. But it's been a little while since then. And a lot of people have been saying that Noxious Fumes is kind of just not as exciting as it could be, even though
that's really cool,
in
bro.
conjunction with other abilities. So
that's
we've added a little bit
fucking
of that
change.
Noxious Fumes now
really good
in
change.
conjunction with other abilities where it usually would just stun.
Well, if you stun combo somebody, you get bonus
an
damage
extra
on them.
burst of damage. So 20 to 100 plus 20% magical power scaling for that combination of abilities. We think that's really gonna, you know, make Agni players pretty happy.
That's a lot
as
of
a couple
fucking
of other mana
damage
shifts.
late game, bro.
Flame Wave, we're going to be decreasing the mana cost just a little bit off the top end to make sure he doesn't suffer from mana issues, as well as increasing the mana on Rain of Fire. Now, a lot of people did mention that zero mana cost Rain of Fire is kind of odd. 10 may seem pretty odd
10
to
is
you
even
as
more
well,
weird.
but it's going to be a little bit, especially if he's using multiple meteors at a time, and it's also going to allow him to trigger certain mana-based item effects like Gem of Focus. So you could see that as a nerf, or you could even see it as a buff.
God, well, he's going to be on fire in the battleground soon. I can already feel it. So next up, Amaterasu.
Agni with that combo is going to actually be pretty fun. That's a big burst combo attitude.
Amaterasu, another character we just didn't really see much, much range.
They basically just added like 400 extra damage to
she brings unique strengths to the team,
like an Agni combo on somebody.
That means they're just not quite strong enough. So she does have decently strong clear. She has some self-mitigating tools and teamfight tools, but she's not quite bringing in enough. So Divine Presence is getting the increased power from Valor. This means that she's going to be able to empower her team more effectively, especially at earlier ranks. It scales to the same value. So this means that if she's
self-damage mitigation while charging is increased.
And then Heavenly Reflection increasing that self-mitigation from 3% to 15% to 7% to 15%. So that earlier on, especially when you're brawling, when you're rotating into the mid-game fights, you're going to have extra self-mitigation so that you can actually dive into the enemy team and do what you need to do as a Madras, especially get those basic attacks off to trigger your passive.
Always love to hear somebody's being more ready for a fight. Almost couldn't get that out. Looks like Cernunos is also getting a buff to the Wild Hunt. What's happening there, Clumsy?
Yeah, so with the maces coming
Okay.
into play, we expect to see a little bit more Sononos, especially because he's an ability hunter. But he can really work well with crit or even chin size too. So it makes sense. One thing that players have been asking for a while is for his ultimate, the Wild Hunt, to actually deal damage to minions and non-god
This isn't gonna make
entities too.
certain
So
good,
we're finally
though.
going to be doing that. This is almost a quality of life increase. It is a buff because you can definitely play aggressively in lane. Hit minions as well as the enemy god at the same time to make sure there's a little bit of pressure off
That's
of you.
true.
But I think this is going to be
You
something
can
that makes
ult
a lot
into
of
creeps
Sononos
and actually
players
kill them instead of the gods using them to
Awesome.
block.
Yeah, I can definitely see that getting a lot of use.
It
and,
is
utilizing
a
the
buff,
damage
but
on minion waves.
I don't
for,
think it's concern any good.
Just helping when engages a little easier. Next up, Charybdis getting a whole lot of buff, actually, kind of across the board.
Thank
what's
God,
happening
dude.
with that, Pon?
Actually, we'll let Clumsy take this
I
one.
told you this guy was shit. No
Yeah,
one fucking
there's
listened.
a whole. Damn, you got it right.
What is happening?
Charybdis has a whole bunch of stuff coming in here, and we stay true how design wants to make sure that when a new god is released, we give them some time to really find their place in the meta, as well as for casual players to kind of learn to play as and against the characters. Now, of course, with Charybdis' release, there were a couple of unfortunate bugs that took some time for us to be fixed. We fixed a couple of those in bonus balance, then we fixed a couple more of those in the main patch, and we've definitely seen that she has gotten a little bit better. Emphasis on the little, because she could use a whole plethora of buffs, as we were seeing here. She, I believe, is statistically performing very low, and which is why kind of the justification on us touching several different parts of her kit. So going into them a little bit, we wanted to address different parts of her kit, but specifically her in-hand trading, so her basic attack trading. So her increased base physical power from 34 to 38. This is slightly more in line with other hunters. We thought with the triple attacks, maybe her pressure against in lane might be a bit too high, but I think we've seen the opposite be the case. So bringing her in line there should help a little bit, as well as the triple shot basics. Again, those come out really fast, but it's also a DPS loss if you're missing either of them, right? Because it's 33%, you're not even getting to 100%. Now, if you're hitting all three of them, it's going to be a DPS gain because you're actually hitting multiple parts of a basic attack.
They should have done that before.
Raging Tide, so
That's
this
a
is the
good change.
passive, we're decreasing the item damage reduction. This is a buff from 35% to 30%. We saw a lot of people saying that this might have been a little bit too strong of a reduction effect for things like chin size, so we're bringing this back down a little bit. We want to make sure that she still has other ability item synergies in mind, like critical strike chance should still be strong on her. We didn't want to overshadow that, and that's not being reduced by this passive. Spike shot as well. We're going to be increasing the damage done to minions through that reduction mechanism again. So it previously would do 60% of damage at rank 1 through the minion wave. Now it's going to be doing 80%. Again, we talked about her trading and her efficacy in lane against other enemies. Even though she's got two pretty decent abilities to help clear wave, we still think that she needed a little bit of help there. Finally, also on this ability, Spike Shot, we're going to be increasing the splinter damage when you actually hit enemy gods, right? So this isn't just the bounce damage that you get from hitting walls, but it also will directly impact when you hit gods. So when you pop the stim, you hit enemies with Spike Shot, they will take more damage too. And finally, the Maw Hungers, we're going to be looking at many different ways to try and help Charybdis players use this a little bit more efficiently, and one of those ways is going to be now, unlike Scylla, she actually gains omni movement speed, kind of like what Hanbots does with the second ability while she's in her ultimate state.
A nice-ish quality of life change. It's still slow.
I think I covered it.
Like you still use the actual ult slowly.
Yeah, again, for you Charybdis players, congratulations. Lots of new fun coming, lots of new potential.
Definitely
Make sure
better, though.
that you check the update notes as well, because there's a
Her
lot
ult's
of
still
stuff
kinda
happening.
shit.
We have all of this.
You can
in
just
the
use it
update
to run
notes,
away
so
easier now.
You can follow along there too, but that's awesome. So look out for that. Mulan also getting a buff, and this is happening to her training arc, actually.
What
what's
the
going on
fuck?
there?
Yeah, one thing about Mulan is she has to kind of train her skills as she gets through the match. But
Oh my
that can sometimes depend on
wait.
how the lane's going, how the game's going.
Holy
It can sometimes
fuck,
take
you're gonna level up
quite a
your
bit of
two
time. And so we wanna
mad
give her a bit
early
more
in the
control
game
and
now.
ability to actually level that up on her own. So the first one is that we're actually just going to be lowering the overall skill requirement that you would need to acquire to that. From I believe 600 to 6,000, so from like 1, 2, 3 to 500 to 5,000. So there's a pretty decent reduction there. But the second one is we're actually going to make it so that you gain more skill when you use this against minions. So when the other character isn't there, you can't necessarily fight directly with the other character. You can still build up.
So not only do you level it faster, it requires less to rank it up. So Mulan might have a crazy power spike in the mid game, in the early mid game.
Kind of brought to us. So make sure you're talking to the Olympians.
Nah, Mulan's late game still ass. That's her her
time, and we
problem.
really do
This
try to work it
doesn't
in,
fix
so
the
thank
Mulan
y'all
problem.
in
Her
advance.
late game is booty butt
Next up,
cheeks.
Alrun also getting a buff to Overflowing Divinity. So what's happening with that?
So we talked about spectral armor being one component of why Olorun may not be actually used that often. Another component is just even when people aren't buying spectral armor, as we saw a lot, he's still not really that strong. So we want to do small buffs at a time. So spectral armor is one, and the second one is the second ability, Overflowing Divinity, is going to be doing a little bit more damage per each shot, but it's still going to be capping to the same amount. I think it was like 90%. So your first couple of shots with the sun fiery projectile will be dealing.
Charybdis ult can burn a person's beads 3
Awesome.
times before
Super
the
good.
ult finishes.
Next up, Sylvanas also getting a buff to Nature's Bounty.
Yeah, not
which is his
really.
new passive, right?
You can also just
Yep, it's
auto
new
3
passive.
times and kill
So with his
somebody
new
in the
passive,
same
we saw
time
a
and takes
lot
you
of
to
people
ult.
pick him up, and they're doing about as well, maybe actually a little bit worse than the kind of random root passive. That probably saved people more than they realized. And one piece of
Ooh,
feedback
that's a
we've really
good
gotten is
change.
that, especially as a support Sylvanas,
Even
you're
more
often not
OP
gonna
now,
you're not able to
baby!
get to
Sylv
20
mid!
to really make use of that 1 second
Sylv
cooldown reduction to be
mid!
a big boy late game.
Even better!
And so we're just going to decrease that to 17, make it match more directly with
Let's
our
go to
other kind of
15 next time.
support-specific level
Yeah,
thresholds.
come on.
And we're just going to see where it goes from there.
Sylv
A lot of people
mid,
are
I'm
starting to figure
telling
out how
you.
they can leverage this to have really good early mana sustain. A lot of people are figuring out how they can
I'm
use this
dead
to, like,
serious,
group up minions and
bro.
get a whole bunch of
Sylv
procs. So we're
fucking
going to see how
mid.
people continue to play around with this before we do any further adjustments to it. But this one should be just a nice quality of life change, so you can actually play most of your games with the full 1 second
Sylv
strength
mid,
of
you
nature
have
power.
crazy CDR now at level
Yeah,
17
getting that
rather than
earlier is
level
going to
20.
be wild for sure. The mini game of collecting all those seeds is it's an interesting dance. Finally, Vulcan is as well getting a buff to Earthshaker. So what's happening there, Clumsy?
Well, Vulcan's one of those gods where if you see a good one in lane, you're kind of scared
hold
because
on.
he has a lot of potential, but
70
he's really not
seconds?
doing all that well. And we've seen a lot of people actually, clamoring for Vulcan.
just
to get a
made
couple of
Vulcan
buffs.
all
We wanted to be very
roll.
careful with what we chose, and Earthshaker is one
What
of those
the
abilities where
fuck?
it's kind of the make or break.
I'm
for
about to be
Vulcan.
launching this
If you
shit
immune
all
that
the
ability or
time.
use Aegis,
Coming out of
he's-
base,
he's probably gonna
Vulcan
just
ult.
get killed
Backing,
pretty quickly.
Vulcan
So we're gonna
ult.
be reducing the cooldown, scaling.
Jungler just
going
came
to,
out of base,
70
Vulcan
seconds
ult.
at rank 5 for Vulcan's ultimate.
Somebody
And
put a
that should
ward
help
down,
him
Vulcan
throughout the
ult.
game. Put a little bit
Gotta
more
rotate
threat
the
onto
red
the
buff,
enemy team,
Vulcan
kind of in a
ult.
similar way that Rod does.
What the fuck?
Awesome. Well, that
Literally
that does
gonna
it
have a
for
45-second
balance
Vulcan ult
with
timer.
The 8:10 update again, going live October
Holy
19th.
shit.
Super excited about it. Make sure to check the update notes to review all of what we just talked about. But next up, we will have the 8:10 skins. See you there.
I saw the card art for some of these skins. They look pretty good. Obviously not these skins. Odyssey. Imagine if you could use code weekend about Odyssey. That'd be sick.
We can be whoever we choose.
Use creator code weekend
What's wrong?
whenever Hi-Rez decides that.
What do you mean? I'm me.
42-second ult at 40% CDR. And then you get Chronos. Good to go.
Super exciting. And welcome back, Smite fans. You might notice I have two amazing new guests here with me. We have Titan Forge Tina and Lermy Wormy here with me. How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing, Dandy?
I am fabulous. It is Wednesday. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week. Obviously, I mean, you can see we've had so many things
yeah.
we're working on. I'm sure it's been the same for y'all. But yeah, super excited. And actually, I wanted to start. Lermy, I wanted you to give a little more introduction. I hear you've been moving and shaking a little bit.
Yeah, so some of you guys in the community might know me from, streaming, casting. I've done a lot of stuff in my time with Smite, but over the past month, I've actually transitioned to a new role. So now I'm officially a god designer.
Oh, shit.
On the battleground, and it's been amazing so far. And in the future, I might even get to make my own god. We'll see. But for now, I'm doing a lot of learning, and it's been amazing.
God damn,
so
she
far.
kind of
So
grinded that
grateful to
fast
be
as
here.
shit.
Well, we are certainly thankful to have you
I
here.
love having
and,
fucking
everybody
people
give
who
her
play
a
Smite
massive
like at a good
congratulations.
level,
It's super
being in
awesome.
the
Can't
dev
wait to
team.
see, your god hit the
There's like
background
8
whenever
people
you,
now that
you
are
get
really
on
good
that,
at Smite that
we're
are on the
looking
dev
forward
team.
to it. So let's dive in. We're starting off with some skins from the Odyssey, Perilous Seas, as you might have just seen in the video prior. And the first one is Cosmic Fortune Ganesha. So
Ooh,
that
he's
is
a glowy boy.
so awesome. Very glowy.
Fuck Ganesh.
Like banishing the dark, scary thing in the bottom corner, too.
Oh, I thought it was a
love
cloud.
little, like,
All my homies hate
vortexes
Ganesh.
in his ears
Notice how
too.
Crazy
Oh my
Crazy
goodness,
plays
there's
Ganesha
so
and loves
much
Ganesha?
detail
Not
in
my
this
homie.
skin.
Wow, yeah, I
What's up,
never even
Jesus?
noticed the like ear universes. That's awesome.
Yeah. And stomach
Oh, the
universes.
color palette on
and
this one's
stars.
so nice too.
And look at the, like the
So
effect
warm.
under the feet. That's really cool. I'm
Mhm.
just staring at it now. What an absolutely great skin. Let's hear what the voice line sounds like.
Expanding the cosmos is the only way to
Fucking Ash.
victory.
Just reminds me of a like a diamond skin.
Ooh, that's
Victory,
nice.
he
Oh,
shall
so
have,
nice
yeah.
soothing
serene and
voice.
just so
I know,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Always so calming. Next up, and I'm excited for this one, we have Cat Force Hercules. Let's see what that looks like.
Oh my goodness.
That is 100% me in the corner, or like in the side running away, by the way. So
That's Hercules? Oh my gosh, you
Yeah.
guys.
Hercules.
I love it. Oh, what a great! I love the pink.
Look at his paw
Wait, is he the
hammer.
tiny? Oh my gosh, is he
Yeah.
the tiny cat in the suit?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
It's a
at
cat,
that
man.
I will
tail.
be using this.
Look at that itty
This is
bitty
perfect.
bald
I love the-
tail.
The pink and
Aw.
blue is so nice. Look at the claws too.
What claws?
I absolutely
Oh,
love this
on
skin.
the
Like on the
feet.
What the
feet.
fuck
yeah.
is this?
Oh,
Uh,
on the mace too, the little paw.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so great. Let's hear what the voice sounds like.
Threats have been identified. Fear not! My specifications fully encompass dealing with foes
Oh.
of this caliber.
This is a Hercules, right? This is a Herc skin? It's supposed to be Hercules. What the fuck? What? First of all, it's a shit skin either way, but why isn't this Thor?
Dang.
Why not
considering
do
what that was-
something? Why is this Hercules?
Not
This is
sure
so
if
cute.
aggressive
This
or
is
cute, but or both.
Yeah.
Both, yeah.
It's like
I hate these
it's
skins,
threatening,
bro.
and then you
Hercules.
go, "Aw," but you're afraid still.
Yes.
That's so good.
This shit hurts my
Exactly.
fucking brain.
So next up we have it's with the Kitty Karna. It's a viewer point bundle. We have Kitty Karna, Kumba Karna. So we're continuing with cats
No,
here.
not more fat cats.
Oh,
She looks so fluffy.
big sleepy boy.
He is
I feel
big
that.
sleepy boy.
I feel like that's what I look like.
He's had
Like I
a
finished.
nice full meal.
Yeah.
Right. He looks like full of wisdom and 1,000 years old, with big
Oh.
hands.
Look at those big blue eyes too. Wow.
I know.
That is absolutely awesome. The staff is really cool too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
look at that. And the hat has like ear holes too. That's
Ears.
perfect. I love that.
Yeah, that's custom made. That's a good hat. This
Yeah.
skin is awesome. Let's hear what he sounds like.
Train to defeat the greatest enemy, yourself, and to discover the greatest master, yourself.
That is awesome. He sounds so wise.
Yeah.
I'd let him teach
And
me.
badass. He will punch your face in.
With a meow. All right, so next up, we actually are moving into skins with the Reaping event. So October is upon us, and we have a Reaping event coming up. We're gonna show off some of these skins, and then we'll get into the kind of the details. But first, we have Beast Seer Artio. And
It's
just look at
Hanzo.
that.
Hanzo
That's
skin.
horrible.
Stare. She is staring into
amazing.
my soul, man.
Yeah.
Do they also
In
have a
both
pandemic
forms.
there? Is that why she's wearing a mask?
Yeah. I mean, always better safe than sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
All right, the
Oh,
fucking
is-
bear
Hair
form
so
is pretty sick.
creepy. In the white
Yeah.
too. Oh my gosh,
Oh, the red eyes I cannot get over. For both of them.
that's great. I will love playing this one.
And be afraid when it is charging at me. Let's hear the voice line.
Winning or losing doesn't matter. We all shall return to nature in the end.
Nature's scary.
Mm-hmm. It's
Well,
nature.
awesome. This sure is neat.
This is just a
next up,
recolor.
We have Halloween Hysteria Baron Zombie. Let's see how that goes.
Yes.
Oh,
I love this
maximum
skin
spook
so
boy.
much.
Goodness. The pumpkin head with a little slash through it. Oh my gosh, I better be seeing some of
Yeah.
y'all make a jack-o'-lantern of that. I want to see that.
True. Dude, tweet us if you make that. Tweet it at us. Oh, that's so good looking.
Oh my god, look at the ghost!
Yeah, it's
Jinx!
so good.
That's so awesome.
He's like a snake ghost.
Yeah,
And
he's
he's
like
dancing.
boogieing too. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I
That's so
absolutely love
fun.
it.
I want a
I
more
love all the
like
little details, like the
effort
tattered pants too, with
Halloween
the leg bone
skin.
and stuff. Just it looks so good. Absolutely love
He's
this. I'm
creepy.
excited.
It's just kind of there.
Exactly.
True, creepy.
I do small.
Let's hear what he sounds like.
Bones are shaking, bats are aflutter, and the glow of fire is all that illuminates us. The mood has been set.
And it's a spooky mood.
Okay.
It's kind of a boogie mood too.
Yeah.
Super awesome. Next we have Crimson
The
Steel
ghost on that's
Ares.
dope, and the fact that you can see his ribcage is dope.
Okay.
This
fuck?
one is
Oh.
dope. He looks
Again with the
Look
red
at-
eyes.
insane.
I know, right?
Isn't this just another recolor?
I love that sword too, kind of like the two edges but split up the middle.
Right, the
Oh, that's
weapon is
awesome.
dope, but this
Oh,
looks like
shield,
another
too,
skin.
it's
I
got
feel
a
like
little like demonic face on the front. I'm sure that's where the fire comes from, but
the
he's
weapon
looking
is
good.
sick. You can't like
So
having
good.
that. Like the weapon is dope. Colors are dope
That
on it.
sword,
I
though,
just-
that two-prong.
But like, I feel like this is just
Totally
a
agree.
recolor,
It's
or
super
like their
great
skin's
looking.
really
And, like,
close
the,
to this.
like wings on his shield too. It's like so much going on. Very
He's
vampire.
like regal and evil and undead, and he will be getting a
Is he
5-man
a
ult to pull
vampire?
you all into a ton of burst. I mean,
I
he could
think
be.
he might
It
be a
looks like he
vampire.
serves some kind of vampire
Whatever you
lord.
wanna
Maybe he
be,
is the
baby.
This does
vampire
look
lord.
like Lich King from WoW, right? The shoulders and the helmet.
Let's hear what he sounds like.
By the High Council's orders, we go to war!
Yeah, like you
Okay.
said.
Okay, so
5-man ult.
maybe
Aluminum foil head ass.
Maybe it's
Super
a council of
awesome.
vampires. Could be.
yeah,
think
maybe it's
so.
Council of Vampires.
I think so. Next up, we have Wise Guy Cupid.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Don't get me started on this skin.
I gotta see this in game.
I love
Bruh.
his face. I love it so much. I can't put to
Oh,
words.
oh my
Does it have a little
gosh.
Tommy gun in game?
Look at him.
That's a thug. Also worth noting with
Holy
this one. Oh, that looks
fuck!
so good.
Why does it actually look so good?
So handsome too. Worth noting with this one. This is a community concept skin. So thank you, Rob Draws, for this concept. We love it. It's awesome, and here it is, live in action.
I mean, this is new best Cupid skin, right?
I'm feeling yes. It's a hard yes. Let's hear what he sounds like.
Cupid has some really good skins though.
Look at all these people coming to our speakeasy. Well, welcome. Don't worry. I take care of my own.
That's so good. He takes care of his own.
I
You ain't
know,
gotta
That's
worry.
that's a good skin.
I love it. I love the suit. I
Yeah.
love his jawline, everything.
The Chad
Next up, we
jawline, it's great.
exactly. Next up, we have Omniscient Oracle Zeus.
Oh,
Oh,
my
What the
Jesus.
fuck?
There's
Look
a
at that
couple too
fucking
many
weird
arms
ass
on that
mouth.
one.
And a chest
That's
mouth.
his head. His eye. That eye is his head.
So what about
I'm
the
freaked
chest
out
mouth?
at the art.
Game Prodigy,
my
thank you for the
God.
12 months. Classic Diesel, thank you for
Wow, we
28.
went from
DJ, thank you for
handsome
51.
Cupid to scary Zeus.
Oh.
He is so spooky.
That's a
Oh,
pretty
he's got
fucking
some
clean ass
flesh
skin, dude.
flaps.
Look at
Dude,
the
flesh
fucking
flaps
back.
are the scariest things, dude. I don't know.
Bro,
about
if he had a
flaps.
special where he
Those
flopped
arms.
down on his fucking hands, like on his back, and just
Oh.
crawled away.
I mean, I
that'd be
like
sick.
it, but in the kind of way that I don't like it, you know? If that makes
It's
any
like
sense.
I watch a horror movie to get scared, right? I'm playing this
That's a
Zeus
sick
skin to
skin.
scare my opponents.
Honestly, the lightning bow is pretty cool
right.
too.
There are mental crits.
know.
You're landing mental crits when you lock this skin in.
Did you just finally get a buff? No.
We're gonna have
Let's-
to ask Aggro because he's like the Zeus juice player.
We will. Let's hear what he sounds like.
All of you shall bow before my masters and I.
And I. Get it? Oh
Get
my
it, 'cause-
God.
It's on his shoulder. I get
um,
it.
Oh Jesus.
Oh man. All right. Next up, we have Screamy Chibi Izanami. It's almost a tongue twister.
She's so cute.
She is.
With the big head. Oh my goodness.
The big glowing eye too. Oh, I love
She's
Is
it.
there a
adorable.
pupper? There's a pupper bottom left.
Oh, there is a pupper. It's mighty spooked though. That's a spooked poker.
Yeah, it's my. It's
Why do they look like
I'd be
Legos
wanting to get
almost?
out of there.
Yeah.
Why do all the people look like fucking
I
Legos?
love it.
Love it.
Oh,
That's a
Oh
clean
my God,
skin.
the little smile. She's cute and creepy.
That's pretty good.
I know,
I know,
right?
right? I think her eyes changed too since it's a chibi.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
maybe.
should.
I love her.
Oh, you'll have to be
her
on lookout for
She
those
say her
expressions.
eyes change?
Yeah.
Yeah, the expressions. Yeah, let's see if she changes her expression.
It'll be good
I'm
to
sure
watch.
that she
Not
has
yet.
some crazy ones. Yeah, the Thanatos one that we did a while ago had some insane ones, so she probably has some great ones as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's scary and. very
Marconaut, what the
emotive.
fuck is wrong with you?
Let's hear what she sounds like.
Finally free! You know how grueling it was to be stuck with those boring spirits in the underworld?
Yeah.
It sounds like the
I'm
Izanami
laughing 'cause
voice
I wrote
actress
it.
just had helium, like she inhaled some helium.
Yes.
Maybe that's why your head is so big.
Industry secrets right there. All right. So next up, we're moving to the Halloween chest now, which was still part of the reaping. And we have Cyber Shadow Merlin.
The fuck is that?
Okay, hello.
Yeah, hello.
I will be using this skin from now on. There is no other Merlin skin.
I knew you would
Oh,
say
I
that.
love
I mean,
Damn it.
look at the eyeliner. I mean, he's committing to the look.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh.
Hold on, what,
yeah.
what the
Right,
fuck is the makeup dude from YouTube? That's James Charles. This is the second James Charles skin. Susano or somebody else has a James Charles skin. It's the second one in the game. It's James Charles.
Dedication to the look. I agree.
It's fucking. No, hold on.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna tell me this isn't fucking. I gotta find one where. This is definitely him. Look at this shit. That is absolutely him. They just made it a little bit darker. That's it. That is 100% him. You're fucking trolling.
Look at those.
And the hair.
That is
though.
100% him. 100%.
Yeah, I want that cube.
Takes care of
I was like,
himself. Look at him.
I know, right? All that techie stuff too, like the wires and stuff. Oh, that's awesome. I love this skin. I
Color
love all the
scheme,
blue.
too.
Yeah.
Those are just the best colors together. Purple and blue. I mean, you cannot go wrong with that.
Couldn't agree more. Let's hear what it sounds like.
The surrounding shadows are brimming with energy. I can use the mana to sway the battle in our favor.
What? The voice doesn't even match the look.
And sounds like a hunk. Check, check, and check.
Oh,
What?
Yeah. Uh-huh. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, no doubt. All right, so there is technically one more skin, but it is for a god we might not have talked about yet, so we're gonna save it for after that. So just there is one more beautiful skin that y'all will get to see. But so let's get into the reaping event. This year it's more than just like we have an in-game event for it. And Tina, if I'm correct, you kind of know all about it. You wanna let us in on the deets?
Yeah. Okay, so there's the reaping. It's called the reaping. And there's 2 really important things to know about the event. There's the skin section, and then there's like the questing section. In the skin section, your goal is to collect pumpkins by purchasing items from the Halloween chest and the direct purchase skins from the actual event. Collecting these pumpkins will unlock reward skins, and for each time you roll the Halloween chest, you will receive a pumpkin, up to 3 pumpkins. Okay? I know I'm talking really fast. Each of the direct purchase skins in the reaping event will also grant you a pumpkin. So,
It's a lot of pumpkins.
for example, if you want, you can buy 1 chest roll, which will grant you a pumpkin, and then you can buy 2 of the direct purchase reaping skins.
What's up,
They'll
Noct?
grant you 2 pumpkins, so you
73
can kinda
tier
mix
2
and match
months.
as you go.
Thank you, Noct.
But
What the
you
heck,
can only
hey?
collect 6 pumpkins in total. And what's important about the pumpkins is that you can unlock rewards with them, like skin rewards. So for collecting 3 pumpkins, you will unlock the Baron Samedi skin, and for collecting 6 pumpkins, you will unlock the Chibi Izanami skin. And yeah, that's all for that part. And then the second part is the quests, and it's free for everyone. Basically, you're trying to help Artio escape from a creepy coffin, that has locks on it, like tons of locks on it. And each week, we will release 2 quests.
Before they get the new
If
god,
you
give me 1
complete those
second
2
because
quests,
this
it
is
will
taking
unlock
too
the
long.
first lock on the creepy coffin. If you complete 6 quests, you will unlock the survivor player title. And if you unlock all the quests, if you complete all the quests, you will unlock the RDOB Seer skin that we just saw earlier.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, that's super exciting. Again, that's coming with the 8.10 update live October 19th. So look out for that and partake in the reaping. Well, Tina and Lermy, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me here. And
No problem.
let's get into something scary. We'll see y'all in just a second. Hello again, Smite fans, and welcome back. If you weren't totally scared away by what just happened a second ago, I am now here with Pawn and AJ. So welcome aboard, y'all. Yeah, you're Lermy now. Pawn looks to be a little stuck.
Yo, relax. I had to get my milkshake,
AJ, I'm having trouble
okay?
hearing you on my end.
Calm down. I missed nothing.
Oh yeah. Okay. I've been jumping into the show late. This is my bad. I'm
there
off
it
a
is.
little bit. I usually jump in earlier.
Is Pawn frozen?
Yeah, it's fine. We're here. So looks like Pawn is still a little frozen, so he'll pop back
He's
up.
not
but
frozen.
yeah,
He's just really deeply focusing on his new god release.
You're saying he was scared stiff by the trailer, is what I think I'm hearing.
Like, have you ever seen Paul play Pro League? He's just always frozen in that same stance while he's playing. That's what Pawn's doing right now. That's just his patch notes face. So he's here. Don't worry about it.
Intensely focused. Got it. Well, we're here for Cliodhna. We're excited for her release. We finally let y'all see her recently, and there's a lot to go about her. So, AJ, do you just want to dive in and start talking about kind of what Cliodhna looked like as we were fleshing her out?
What's her name?
Yeah, I can go into some of the brief overview on her. Cliodhna is the Celtic Banshee Queen. She is a member of the Tuatha De Dan, which is a kind of like the Olympians, or just the Council of Gods in Irish and Celtic mythology. We've been really set on wanting to do a ghostly character for a very long time. It has a very unique look to it, a very unique set of mechanics
what
that
the
we could bring to
fuck?
the game. And we were really looking for the right character, the right time, the right place. We actually went through a lot of alternate choices and trying to make up our decision here before we settled on Cliodhna, the Banshee Queen. And she's scary.
Oh yeah,
she is spooky.
So good, absolutely spooky.
There's a lot of interesting lore to Cliodhna, which I'm sure Pawn could mention if I forgot anything. But she's actually quite a complicated goddess. There's a lot of interesting tales about her powers involving love and romance and beauty. Which we chose to take a slightly different direction with our depiction just because of the character being a banshee and the queen of the banshees. I think players would have been a little confused if Queen Banshee looked like a, kind of a beautiful, normal woman. So we leaned into the actual banshee, which is, the beings that she rules over, and made her really look like the most epic version of all of those banshees instead.
I can definitely see it. Definitely.
And she's definitely creepy.
Oh yeah, and it's only exonified by seeing her in action. So are we ready to steer in game?
I think we're good. Cliodhna attacked my webcam, so I think we've resolved that now. So I think we can go straight into game and show off the kit.
Awesome. Let's
she is
see what's going on.
Physical melee assassin, which I know.
Correct. So we're gonna show what happens.
That's
when you
weird.
Might fight
She's a
Cliodhna
physical
first.
melee assassin, but you think magic. Like I instantly think magic damage. What the fuck is this?
She is a terror in the jungle. Let's show off the rest of the abilities.
What the
That
fuck?
was scary already.
That was spooky.
What just happened? What the fuck is happening?
And of course,
Gotta do it. Show everybody.
There it is.
Yes. Look
In
at
the wall.
Look at how amazing this is.
What the fuck?
so
That's
awesome
so
stuff there.
awesome.
She is
Marvel, this
truly
guy.
horrifying.
What the
Oh, yeah.
fuck? That's
And
not.
so many
All right,
things
first of all, I
to go
said she
over
was gonna go
there.
through walls,
I
but I
mean,
did not
let's
imagine
get
it being
into
like
Let's
that
start
at
with that
all.
passive.
I thought she
Lay
was just
it
gonna
down
walk
for
through
us.
walls, like dash through them.
Yep. So the passive is phantasmal. So the idea here is that she can essentially take on a ghostly form and walk into walls. And so you can see here, as I walk into that wall, I have a brief entering time before I go in
It does
there.
damage to you?
But now that I'm in here, I can
Oh,
actually
it's stacked.
walk
Look at that damage.
completely into this wall, walk through it, walk anywhere I want to, and then I can exit at any time. And you can see that I'm taking more and more and more damage as I stay inside here. This passive has a lot of rules about what you can or can't do with it. So the first one is it has a cooldown. You can only do this once every 16 seconds, and it happens when you leave. The second is that if you're crippled or below 25% health, you can't enter the wall. So if you're able to cripple her or get her low enough health, she can't just immediately sneak away into a wall. And the third is that when you have this on cooldown, you actually have an indicator in-game like, hey, you can't do this. You can't go into this wall at all. So there's a whole bunch going on here
That's
to make
cool.
sure that, one, it's conveyed really clearly as to your ability to enter a wall, but also making sure that there's counterplay options. When you're inside a wall, you can see here that I have this debuff icon. You might be able to hear creepy music. You might have heard that earlier. That's an indicator that she is actually in the wall next to you, and if I walk out of it and walk in it, you'll be able to hear an audio cue that you've actually entered within an area around her, so you have some indication that you might get jumped on within a few seconds.
Wow.
So
The ability is an absolute technical marvel. The amount of
Yes.
programming and
That's what I was
engineering
thinking.
that
How the
went into
fuck
this
did they do
ability.
this?
This single ability might be one of the top in all of Smite history to rival Oleron Alt and the Morrigan. Honestly, all the interesting
fuck did they
choices
do
we
this?
had to make involving what we wanted to show, what we wanted to render while players were in the wall, how we got the most important information, how we showed those
That passive,
borders,
this is
the
probably the most
boundaries of
unique
them,
passive in Smite, right?
showed
there's
nearby
nothing's even
gods,
close.
as well as this whole like kind of dark realm she's in. Because if you just walk into a Smite wall, like you'll see all sorts of
This bitch can walk through
insides
walls
of video game models
and
or,
stay
you
in
know,
them.
clipping
Meanwhile,
through
Thor
things. So
gets
you
5
couldn't just
power
walk the
because
camera
someone's
through
near
the
him.
wall. We really had to change the visuals intensely to even make this work at all.
Correct.
Playable, and all of these things just came together in an absolute beauty. And like I am just so proud of my
Bruh.
team. This is really working
This is
magic as
fucking
far
nuts.
as video games go. I'm just
I
really
can't wait
impressed.
to
This
see
is
all the
something we've been
shitty
wanting to do for
junglers
years, and
kill
we
themselves
finally
with
made
the
it happen.
fucking passive.
Yeah, especially like from just how we actually present this, like the programming team has an algorithm that runs through the map to generate these walls, because again, like this rock might have collision that's separate from this wall, and even though as a player this looks like one solid unit, it very much isn't. So we actually had to generate these walls on the fly in real time during gameplay. The team did a whole bunch of optimization. I don't think we can really understate how much tech went into this, and overall it's created such a smooth experience.
This is
for us.
insane.
I'm super happy with this pass as a whole.
And I mean, it just, from a perspective too of somebody who isn't, I'm not as much on the back end with the programming
can't
side, but even just
kill
from my
yourself,
perspective,
but
it
you
is
can sit in
insane
there
to look
and
at.
come
The way
out
that
at
the
fucking
imagery
low
of it all
HP, and
looks
I'm gonna
so
whoop your
good,
ass
the
with
way
one
that the
ability.
gods are highlighted, just everything about it looks so good from every angle. It's a great addition. So
And you can
let's
also
move on
see-
to talk about-
And the only other thing I want to mention is there's a few other rules
People are gonna
here.
go into that, get
When she's in
confused,
the
and
wall,
come out
she's
and be like,
completely
"Oh, fuck,
unseeable and
I'm dead."
undamageable. So things like new ult won't hit you. That makes sure that there's no weird edge cases that can occur, but it also makes sense because he's like become completely intangible.
Bruh.
Additionally, you can't actually see, so I have a
Bruh.
ward here. There's
If a team pulls fucking fire, you can legit sit in the fucking wall and go
definitely
for
cleaner
fire
than that
steals
wall.
and
I
gold
can't
steals.
see her. The only
Holy
indication I have that she's
shit.
there was the fact that I could like hear her around me. And when she goes in the wall, she completely disappears as well. So that's the main rules that you'd want
That
to know
looks
about
really
when you're
cool.
fighting this is when she's in the wall, she's very much safe. But again, she's taking tick damage while she's in there, so she's on a timer. She has to get out of there, and so if you can surround like a wall, like especially some of the smaller walls, you can cut off her escape paths. And if she chooses to stay in there for too long, you can just kind of wait her out. And if she exits, she's going to be like half health if she couldn't get anything going. So there's a lot of counterplay opportunities there. And I think the only final thing to mention, because this passive again is probably the biggest part of her kit. She has 10% physical ability lifesteal while she's inside a wall, as well as for a brief window when she exits. This is kind of encourage aggression with it. You want to use it aggressively against your opponents and kind of offset the damage that you're taking inside the wall, at least for the very first window of opportunity you have with it. So just an extra nice thing that she can use if she wants to use this aggressively to be rewarded for it.
Now, I know we're going to get a lot of questions, and Pon, clarify me if I'm wrong, but just to make things a little bit easier, when people are like, oh, can I Nuwa alter in a wall? Can I Nox dash inside her and go into a wall? Can I Horus dash to her and then she go in the wall? The answer is no to everything. Like, we pretty much remove Cliodhna from the game while she's in the wall.
Yes.
You don't get to
so
do.
Nox,
We're really trying to make sure that we are, we're trying to make sure we get a lot of those difficult edge cases out of the way, a lot of potential unintended gameplay. Really, we're focusing this entirely on Cliodhna's
Nuwa starts to go up in the air. Guess where I'm going?
Really
in the
goddamn
wall.
Other gods are getting pulled into walls or hitting her or anything, so she is completely
disconnected
in as many ways as possible while she's in those walls. And of course,
bro, imagine if you could take a Janus portal as her and then break it and go to the wall.
Edge cases still work.
That would be sick.
Please do report those, and we will take a look at them immediately. But that is our design intent, right, Pon?
And super rapid fire to answer some questions I'm seeing. Nox gets auto ejected because she can't eject inside the wall, so she just gets kicked out.
So if you have a dot on you, you can just go on the wall and take no damage from it.
Wall, you'll just go to the last valid location Cliodhna was standing. You can't walk onto her while she's inside a wall.
Yeah.
Those are the major ones. Horus, when you start flying there, you'll just stop at the wall.
That's pretty cool.
If you alter before she enters the wall, you'll kind of she'll be removed from your dash target list, so nothing will really happen in that case.
Oh, you choose me? I go on the wall.
A lot of testing here. I'm sure you guys will find something, but we've done as best we can to make sure that this very game-breaking passive, because this does fundamentally break a lot of the rules that we have in Smite, is intuitive, is smooth, and interacts with all
you already know the Morrigan and this god are gonna break. You're gonna break the Morrigan and break the game somehow.
Can't, give high fives to Chernobog if he's in the wall. So well.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So how about Banshee's Wail? Let's see what her her first ability looks like.
So let's do the first ability. We have the Banshee's Wail. This is a 3-part channel. Oop. Something weird. There we go. Sometimes in this dev, it can get a little bit funky. So we got the scream. It's 3 parts. The final hit hits the hardest. And you can see that final scream actually causes the target to be silenced, but that's not all. They're also deafened when that hits.
That removes all game sounds.
If you want to cast the ultimate and then hit me with the deafen ability, you'll be able to hear the audio disappear.
It's gonna throw people off.
So you can hear that kind of dip out and then dip back in of the audio. This is essentially removing your ability to hear for just a brief window of time, and then
it's so weird.
Like a Raul could potentially snipe you, or Thor could dunk on you.
It's so
just
unlikely
nice
that matters at all ever.
Into your ear.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
That is so wild.
It's kind of underwater. I thought it was gonna remove game sound for like
when
6 seconds or something.
You can cast it along the wall.
Yeah, this is that's a little underwhelming. That's sick.
Instead of Cliodhna. Well,
that's fucking sick.
You have spooky wall face that was at the end of the trailer.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so I know there was some expectations potentially for a stance changer for this character, which we're not super keen on doing, but you can kind of look at this kit as if it was a stance change, because you have the in-the-wall kit and the out-of-the-wall kit. You have a lot of different changes to all the abilities, depending on whether you're in or out.
Bro, you can literally steal fire, and they can never touch you. You just take your dot damage and dip.
Walking through the jungle, going to get my speed camp, and a face is gonna pop out, and I'm gonna
oh my gosh, regular buff invades, fucking backhand invades.
So we can go on to the next ability. We have Flickering Visions. So Flickering Visions is actually a line skill shot with an exploding AoE. Pretty standard stuff. But you can see that that target is marked. And what that target mark means is that they can no longer see me. So if I were to hit the center Odin, the center Odin would lose sight of me, but the other Odins can totally see me still. It's a targeted stealth. So only the person that I hit is actually use me as stealth. And if
alright, that's pretty fucking cool.
See what that looks like. So she completely disappears my vision. If she then uses the 2 and then attacks.
Wait, does that auto attack bring you out, or can you not see the whole time? Oh, wait.
Love you, bro.
I can also try and hit her to also reveal her. So it follows a lot of similar rules with revealing based off being hit. But this is essentially a way that she can hit you with the 2, and then if she wants to try and run away, she potentially can. If she wants to try and get into a wall, she can. If she wants to get around you and surprise you from the other side, where you weren't expecting it, she can. But the rest of the team can see this. And so you can also kind of play off your team's ability of fighting Cliodhna to potentially get vision on her as well. Just a very different take on the stealth that we've had in the game from before, from other stealths that we have in the game.
And the fact that you have
just
to
so
hit
you guys
someone
realize,
before you can become stealth.
that 2 is in no way actually super viable. If the other 4 people can see you, all they have to do is hit you at all, and then the person that couldn't see you can see you now.
Helps remove a lot of the other frustration
That's
elements
like
regarding stealth, where you can use
super
it
gimmicky,
very far away,
sounds
to
cooler than it
engage, to
actually
escape.
makes the god.
Really, this is like a really unique take on combat stealth, which lets her get a little bit of positioning or a very specific one-on-one
Is
advantage.
it moving buff like Morgan
in a
3?
skirmish, which I just think is super
cool,
smart design and a
but
very
like,
cool evolution for the game.
It adds such a
this is
level
more
of
like
mental play,
1v1,
too, to being in the jungle,
2v2.
'cause if you're in a jungle fight,
impactful.
you hit somebody with that and then dive into a wall to attack. Even if the blind wears off and they can hear you, there are walls all over the jungle. Who knows where you're going to come from? So there's a lot of play there. I think that's really cool.
And it is an AoE, so if you hit multiple gods with the explosion,
I think they need to up the
so
explosion
it's not
range on that
just
too.
one person. So if you're able to catch
It needs
them
to be
all
able to hit
together,
more people
you
if
can
they're near each
potentially
other.
deny the entire team vision of you if you are able to get that skill
There's
shot.
no way you're hitting 5 people with that too.
So much to play. That's super awesome. So how about ability number 3? What's going on with ability number 3?
So ability number 3 is Lurching Claw. This is the movement ability of the kit, as well as a kind of different way of doing a cone attack. So we have a
Movement
charge
speed on
into
that
a
2
cone
is super
fire. So you
valuable
can see
though.
it's pretty straightforward there. The
Holy
dash does
fuck.
damage, the claw does damage, but you can stop it at any point.
That's
so you
cool.
can charge forward there, you can charge,
sick.
cancel a bit early, you can aim freely while you're charging, turn around and cancel wherever you want. So this is basically, you can choose to move as far as you want, and then once you cancel, you're going to do that claw attack no matter what. This does have another interaction with the wall, which is you can cast it while you're inside the wall. So you saw when we showed off the ability at the start, you can actually just jump out of the wall, and you can see you actually cover quite a bit of distance.
that range is
as well as this
insane.
charge is a little bit
Holy
longer as well.
fuck.
So the normal dash length I think is about 45, and the wall dash is 50 if I recall correctly.
Wait, hold on.
So you get a
We
little
should also
extra
note
distance.
that
I feel like
ability
he can't. He must have ended it
cannot
early.
be used in a wall.
Correct.
Yeah, which we
so
didn't
the
cover.
1
People
in
might have been
3
saying, "What about the ability to wall?" And the answer is no.
Yep, and you can see similar. You also can't fire relics as when you're inside it as well. Similar things there.
You can't return to base.
Nope. If you try and back, you can start it, but you're gonna take damage.
What if you get
and
Geb
not be able
shielded?
to.
And then you go on the wall.
Yeah, this
Do
is
you
your
keep Geb
ability,
shield or do you lose
especially
Geb
if you're
shield?
trying to gank like mid
Guess you
lane.
lose
This
the
is your
Geb
way to
shield.
like you can jump into this wall. Maybe you know there's no ward here.
Let's remove
Jump
the
up
Geb shield.
here and then come out this wall, gank the enemy mid laner. Pretty spooky stuff if you're trying to face it.
Oh yeah. Love it too, and I love that you can, like you showed off, dash through and get behind. It's just great for positioning or for
Who
stopping.
cares
somebody
though?
from
So you
running
can
by
back
making
in the
them
wall.
Super handy. So let's talk about her ult. Let's talk about the final, tearing the veil.
Yep. So the final
Try
portion
something to
of
make it so you
of
aren't
the
taking
kit is
damage.
tearing the veil. This is where she uses her claw to tear a rift between the veil of life and death and call forth her banshees. So she casts this, a rip opens, and you can see there it kind of bursts open in a big attack, and then a whole bunch of banshees come flying out of it. This ability has that burst is higher damage, followed by tick damage that decreases. So you really want to try and land an initial hit. Does quite a bit of damage. But enemies do have a lot of warning that it's coming, so they can try and avoid it. You can see there, she tried to hit me with it from inside the wall, but I saw it in time, I was able to back up. You gotta be careful when you're fighting against the Cliodhna. But I also have 2 charges of this, so this is actually a charge-based ultimate. And the reason for that is, 1, to give you a bit of flexibility when using this, so you can choose to cut off opponents, you can choose to try and directly damage them. But when you're inside the wall, it actually acts completely differently. So here you can see I cast it, and it just kind of sits there on the wall. It's actually not going to do anything. And it's not going to do anything until an enemy actually walks over here.
Okay,
the enemy is available.
What does it do?
There we go. You can see it actually activates there when she actually walks near.
Okay, that's pretty
So she's able to
cool.
place wall-based traps that go off. So if you want to use this to try and potentially, one place that was pretty common for us to use was at this Gold Fury pit.
That's pretty cool.
You place one here, and you can kind of cut off this path. Enemies who walk in here might choose to walk forward. Their teammates might choose to walk backwards, and now they're split up. So a lot of interesting things you can do with that. We want to give you the flexibility to play
Bro,
around
I'm
with
be
it.
honest
So it
with
has
you.
2 charges and it's damage.
This
and,
god
and,
just
and
seems
number
like a
tuning is
full
kind of
gimmick.
tuned to that, so you have that flexibility.
Like really cool for content,
This
but
ability has a lot
really
of unique
shit for
applications.
like
it's really good for cutting off
practicality
paths,
and
as
being
it's a pretty
OP.
potent slow, even if you don't get hit by the initial hit. Which you know, it's a new god, so it's gotta have slow.
I don't know the numbers though. The numbers are all that matters at this point.
It's also when
Like, the
you
numbers
place in
have to be
your
high as
traps,
fuck.
it can be really
If
smart
the numbers
to
are
place
low,
them so that
this
they
god's win rate
open
is gonna be
and,
ass.
Like fire further down a jungle path instead of just like into a short path. Like you might think you want to just place them in that short bottleneck there, but it's much better to place one, right there, because you effectively cut off the difference between those two placements. Cuts off a large
Actually,
amount of
bro,
choices.
if you put this here and this one instead of there, you put it here, and you got someone to walk here. That could be pretty. If you get your placements down based on timing, that could be pretty sick.
Where you can run right past it briefly, but
That
if
could
you
be
run
pretty
past
cool.
The other one, you cannot really retreat into your own jungle.
These are numbers.
without getting hit
Yo,
by it.
Nick,
So
thank
really
you.
some smart positioning here. It could do a lot to route enemies around.
Thank
It's
you,
a little
Nick.
harder to just get straight up
Thank
burst
you,
damage
Dad.
with this, but you can do a
Let me look at
lot
these
of
numbers.
good to lock people in place.
Hold
and,
on, before we
she
get
also-
in farther, the scream damage is 95 with 40% scaling. Final hit is 230. Hits 3 times, right? Okay, so let's say late game, like super late game, that's gonna be 160 extra damage on each of these. So you're doing like 250, 250. Okay. That's a lot of damage on a really fucking short cooldown. Holy fuck. Bro, you run, you blink on somebody, hit him with this, jump in the wall real quick, wait for this to come back up, and then you pop him again. All right, that's good damage. This is like, what's the total on this? So you got like 500 on the first 2 hits, and then what? I do my math. My brain is not working. You're doing like, is this like another 500 almost? Is my math right? Is this potentially $1,000? Huh? Is this a 1,000 damage? I did say $1,000 because I was thinking about what you just said. Yeah, 1,000 damage on the one. Maybe that's like full damage on a mage. Late game. 2, bolt damage is 310 plus 70. Movement speed is 40. Okay, that what the fuck? Holy shit. So this is like another 600 potential damage. I wish it was $1,000. This is another 600 potential damage. So full, like true damage, or 1,600 damage. The 3, which is the dash claw. You got the dash damage, which is okay. We'll say it's like 250. Then the claw damage. Oh my god! What the fuck? Okay, I lied. The gimmick was there if they were like normal damage numbers. This is fucking insane. I mean, this is like another 700 damage. That's like 2,300 damage. If you were able to do true damage to somebody, this is 2,300 damage. And then you have the ultimate, where if you really, the full like snipe will be used occasionally. Oh my god. Hold on. So you can stack 2 of these, right? You can stack 2 of these on top of each other. And late game, they could both do 1,300 damage. You literally one-shot somebody who's squishy with this shit. Just by fucking around. I can literally just go run at I go put these on a speed buff. The jungler could run out of his fucking little base, walls open, speed buff, dead, gone, poof. Okay, Okay, I take it back. The gimmick on the abilities is still there, but those fucking numbers are insane. These numbers are insane. Hold on, with the passive, does it say how much damage it is? You lose 0.15% of your health, stacking it in intensity, so it gets worse and worse and worse every stack. She cannot enter a wall below 25, or she's crippled. Damn, you got lifesteal every time you leave. Okay. I realize the ult has a delay, bro, but it's not that big of a delay. Like, they just showed it. The delay is like, the delay is like you need to move out of the way right away.
Team really went above and beyond on this character all across the board, and she's an absolutely beautiful goddess.
Oh yeah, and there's one other thing I wanted to show off since we were able to show it.
This damage numbers are actually
a lot
nuts.
of teams did a lot of new tech to really make sure this character came to life. And one thing that you saw in the trailer was when she screamed, you actually saw the kind of like mask tear apart and the hood tear apart, and you had the.
I don't think she's getting buffed, bro. Those numbers are insane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she does actually do in game.
Your one is on like a 7-second cooldown, and it can do like almost 1,000 damage.
Let's slow-mo it so you can see it.
Oh, she turned around.
Don't forget, your one can pop out the wall.
On slow-mo, some of it looks a little bit weird, but you can see there
the one can just come out of the wall. You don't even need to be there.
The hair goes flying, the face gets revealed.
Yeah. We also use that in some of her other animations, some of her other just flavor animations outside of the ability. So you'll see that, I believe, on her intro when you first select her in a lobby. She'll come out and scare you, and then she'll put on her cleaner face just to hide away. And you'll also see that in some other animations throughout the kit.
God, that is so super awesome. Like, what a great attention to detail.
Mm-hmm. Lots of really cool flavor things all throughout the kit on all the animations.
Okay, her numbers are fucking nuts.
Potentially correct for her to like laugh.
I mean, you have a 95% scaling on the ult or whatever.
Instead, just a lot of really small details.
There is gonna be some highlight reel plays made with this fucking god. I'll tell you that right now.
That's super awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also we didn't talk about the basic attack. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The basic attack, she uses the Falcana for her first 2 attacks. They do normal damage, and her final attack is actually a heavier claw-based attack. So you can see here that I'm actually hitting the Odin for harder on the final.
Oh, that's sick.
So
I like the animations. You hit with the left auto swing,
target, especially during like the 2, because when she hits a target with this, she has a bit increased movement speed. As long as someone can't see her, she can get behind a target and really get that powerful final attack once you've built a lot of physical power.
The hit chain feels great, and her jungle clear feels real great. That ability 1 is real
that
quick
one
jungle
ability
clear,
is doing
it does require her to channel,
damage.
but it's a perfect shape and speed to clear out the jungle.
Friday
really well,
PTS,
so she feels
holy
really smooth
fuck.
as you're going through your jungle route.
Yeah, especially I imagine, especially once you learn like which walls you can dive in and out of early to like balance your health costs with how quickly you cover the map. There's just so much play style potential here for her to optimize jungle routes that only she is capable of by being able to walk through walls like that.
It's true.
Oh, the like singing is so ominous.
Yeah, when she's around you in the jungle, it is legitimately terrifying.
Yeah, well, that is awesome. Thank you for the showing in game. I appreciate that a lot. Let's move on. Let's see some of the skin she's gonna come out with. So we have her basic recolor skin, the Banshee Queen cleanest skin. So we'll look at that. That looks awesome.
I'm still processing the amount of damage she can actually do.
Yes. All the recolors and skins are really good.
I agree. Oh yeah, that looks great.
This actually might be
that ultimate in the wall.
So
I can't tell. I think so.
If it's accurate and you can hit it, it's gonna fucking be hilarious.
The recolor is that kind of like deep red. It will have that deep red. We identified an issue where they were kind of mixing when they shouldn't be. So you'll see the deep red version that you saw on the card work, and this is going to match close to the Ascended one that I'm sure we'll see in a little bit.
We'll see. If we see the Ascended turnaround and it looks the same, then we'll confirm the bug.
Bro,
for sure.
Hidden Blade
so we're all being part of the QA team together right now.
Yeah, well, there's the Ascended skin. Here we are at the Ascended skin. So yeah,
And
I
we
can see what
had
you
to
mean,
do a
Jeff.
card art with the Banshee Scream. You know, we couldn't have her
Of
looking
course.
Oh, yeah.
as beautiful in all of the
Hidden
card
Blade
arts. I was
doesn't
like, we had to
proc.
have one of these. And there's some.
I mean,
cleaner players
realistically, you're
along-
gonna be building
okay,
Bombas
that's
anyway, so it
definitely
doesn't fucking
more
matter.
along-
But
that's too close. So
good, because
that,
I mean,
first turnaround was I
that
think,
would
the
just
bug
be
one, so you'll
fucking
still see
insane
that
if
red
Hidden Blade could proc
version
with new
later on in the
Heartseeker.
patch once we get that sorted out. Sorry to the video team who made these nice turnarounds for us without before we confirmed that the bug existed.
All doing
So this
QA
is the
together as a
Ascended
family.
one. Yeah, that's
looks-
what
it's-
that's what
looks great.
PTS and patch notes are for. That's like the whole point.
Yeah. So next we have the Masteries. So
But technically,
Love the
couldn't you
golden
put your
blue,
ult
always.
out and then
looks really
come out of
good.
the wall?
I mean, just
And then if it
this
hit, your Hidden Blade would
character in
proc.
general is
But that would
just
be it would be
so good to look
shit.
at.
You'd be wasting it. But
Oh, I love the
golden
gold colored
blade.
like
but
fog
you
and,
could.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
and the blade looks so good.
It really does. Ooh, the golden black.
I just like how much gold in general she has on her.
I
agree.
always
And
like this golden black, but she just blue complements her so well that the golden and
Oh.
diamonds actually look really great.
as if there wasn't enough
and the hair color,
incentives to
yeah.
play her.
Watch some shit camp. I watched them play
The
kickball
hair color
today.
is also that deeper.
I watched like the very end of them playing kickball. That was about it.
Yeah, the diamond
Really neat
complements
stuff.
just her natural
And
character
we
color. So
also
Her
have
design
one very special surprise, and that she's actually getting a
It's
real
kind of
skin
fucking wild, bro.
this same update, right?
Her passive is the coolest
That
thing.
is
One of the cooler
exactly
things I've
true.
seen on a game like this
yes.
ever.
Cliodhna.
Oh, okay.
And you thought she couldn't
It
get
is
any
terrifying.
creepier.
Okay.
Yeah. And
And not only
as-
did
as
we
I
make her
kind of-
creepier, you
Yeah.
got something for us?
You go first.
She is an
Well,
assassin.
we got to see the turnaround. I was kind of leading into it. I guess I jumped the gun a little
Oh,
bit.
her face is fucked.
Oh yeah. Look at that face and the head and the hair. A lot of changes up there too. Which this one has to have a banshee face scream as well, right?
Yeah. No, the banshee
yeah.
face is, believe it or not, scarier than that.
Oh wow.
I am
And
horrified at
also,
the
when
thought
she
of it.
uses the wall version also
That's
has
half a
different face as
scissors.
well. So
Oh
definitely some
man.
surprises to look out for.
And just the fun things to think about for future skins for this character. Let's hear the voice line for this one. We have a voice line.
Those mean ones didn't pick me. They will know what it feels to be tossed aside.
Okay.
That's creepy.
That's
Brutal.
very creepy. So this is also going to be a part of. This is in the Halloween chest that we mentioned above. This was the mystery skin that we made y'all wait for. So just so many good things here with Cliodhna. We're so excited about her.
Her ult
So,
can be. I mean, I
again,
don't know.
Just I
I'll
have
know on
chills,
Friday,
I have
but, like,
there were
that's what I'm
thrills.
thinking
It's
is you
all
can
good
kinda
things happened today.
just place it in the most
So
fucked
happy y'all
places
are hanging
ever.
out. That is the end of the update show. Thank you, Pawn. Thank you, Ajax, for tagging along and explaining
Like-
Cliodhna. And I would have screamed probably if I had to do it because I
let
was
me see.
scared the whole time. That's why the cameras weren't on. So I appreciate y'all for coming in and being able.
See here that I'm actually hitting.
Is real quick jungle clear. Although it does.
See here that I'm actually
Where's the wall
laugh
shit?
instead. Lots of really cool flavor things.
Face on her in
The hair.
does actually do in game non-stop, so to lock people in place, and it could do a lot to the difference between those two placements.
Yeah, like,
cuts off a
bro.
large amount of choices where you could
It's a slight delay. But I'm thinking if you could probably do some pretty fucking nasty shit.
run right past it briefly, but if you run past the other one, you cannot.
I mean, bro, you could legit place them here, right? You could put two right here facing this. As soon as someone walks in here, if your support was standing around and just knocked them up, they're dead. Fucking, I don't know. I feel like there could be some really fucking nutty
Really
ult
retreat
shit.
into your own
That
jungle
ult should
without
hit
getting hit
if
by
you have enough pen late game and a mage walks in. It should hit for like probably 1100 if you have two of them. They're one shot. Especially with Heartseeker. The edge of the map count as walls? I doubt it. I was thinking about that too. There's no way. There's no way they let you walk out on this side of the map. I don't see this guy being permabanned in comp because I bet you like team fights are probably kind of not the best unless the damage is just so absurd.
So really some smart positioning here could do a lot to route.
It all
enemies
depends on
around. It's a
how
little
that
harder to
damage
just get
feels,
straight
like
up burst
actually
damage with
getting it
this, but
out.
You can do a lot of good to lock people in place, and she also has a really fun jump animation that we've just been spamming
really
internally like
ghosty.
nonstop. So the animation team really went above and beyond. On
Yeah,
this
I mean,
character.
she's gonna be.
She's
got a good dash though. She's got like movement.
Oh yeah, and there's one other thing I wanted to show off. Since
Yeah, she's got good movement, so she's not gonna get locked down super easy. I mean, you kind of just fucking dash. You gotta just dash away, and then when they're still chasing you, turn and you hit them with the fucking stealth shit. You 3 out, and then you 2 them, and you're gone. And then you're in a wall. Then you're on the other side of the map. Yeah, I think her dash goes through. It does go through gods, so you can just dash through people. You can actually dash through people and still hit them with the big nuke damage and just dip if you wanted to. I'm fucking. The passive is just so damn cool, dude. And then the rest of the kit, I was thinking it was gimmicky until I saw you could place the ult down like traps, and then the numbers are fucking. They just seem absurd. That the first ability could do 1,000 damage, the second ability could do 700 or 700 damage, the third ability could do 1,000 damage or some shit like that. The ultimate can hit for 1,000 plus, like on each beam. Mid lane, you probably have 0 fucking lane clear, and we'll get clapped. Will be my guess. The real fucking thing you do is you pop that fucking fog shit, and if Artemis traps are hidden in that fog shit, you put 2 Cliodhna ults in the fog shit, you put an Artemis trap in the fog shit, and you wait for someone to walk into that bitch. And then you say goodbye. Yeah, I mean, if people dive on you too, you could try to drop your ult real quick and do a counter damage and then just dash out. There could be some fun stuff with this god. This god could actually end up being very, very fucking crazy, dude. Like, actually.